Hey, we're going to look at the scales that we've covered thus far, and then we're going to take a look at what we can do with those scales to practice them in different ways to sort of tighten up our technique in the right hand and to speed things up a bit, make it a little bit more challenging. So the scales that we've done so far are the C major scale in 2 complete octaves, right, all the way back down to the low E and ending back up at the C. Then we did its relative minor scale, A minor, in 2 complete octaves, baby finger at 5th fret, and with its related chord of A minor. Then we did the G major scale, and then down with that F sharp in it, right? And then its related chord of G. And then we did its related minor scale, 2 full octaves. So those are the 4 scales that we've done thus far. You're going to be using those scales tons. The reason we play scales and practice scales is because it gets our fingers ready to play music. It builds up that toolkit that we're going to need to make music, which is which is what it's all about. But not only do you want to make music, but you want to be able to sort of, to some degree, understand what you're doing and where the sounds you like are originating. And they always originate from scales and chords and combinations of those, right? So now let's just talk about our right hand and what we can do with our right hand to enhance our technical practice. And I'm just going to give you a few simple exercises, and now you can use those simple exercises with all 4 of those scales. The first exercise is just going to be a straight quarter note downstroke. Super simple, but you want to come to rest on the adjacent string. So it's just going to go like this. Now, I would suggest you play this with a metronome marking of some kind, right? So just nice and evenly, slowly, and legato. Now, what I mean by legato, I mentioned it before, with a singing quality. So you're blocking your fingers, and one note is sustaining right into the next shift note, right, with a singing quality. So that was just downstrokes with the right hand, moving into the next string. Don't try to avoid the next string. Don't pick in this direction. Pick down and into the body of the guitar. Okay, so that's just a downstroke, rest stroke. And then what we want to do is just 2 articulations on the same note. So down and up on the same note, like this. I'll use an A minor scale this time. See, I'm just doing down and up on each note. So I'm striking each note twice. Once with a down and once with an up. You can do this with each of the 4 scales that we've done thus far. Okay, so that's 2 articulations on a single note. Now we're going to take those two attacks on each note, and we're going to change them to 1 attack on each note. And now we're going to, for the first time, alternate pick scales. We're going to do this with all 4 of your scales. Alternate picking means exactly that. If you're walking down the street, you're going to do, left, right, left, right. You're not going to skip a foot. Exactly the same thing applies to this picking technique. Alternate picking technique, down, up, down, up, down, up. Doesn't matter if you're crossing strings. It is invariably down and up. That is not to say that this is the only way to pick, but it's a great place to start. So what we're going to do is take the 2 picking technique, like two attacks on each string, and we're going to change that to 1 attack on each string, 1 down and one up. One attack on each note, one down and one up. So like this, again, using the A minor, down, new note, up, down, new note, even though I'm crossing strings, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So as you can see with my right hand, it's always down and up. That first exercise of doing two attacks on each string, like down and up on each string, sort of works you into this alternate picking technique where you're playing one attack on each note, but you're doing alternate picking. Now I'll do that with a G scale: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You get the idea, right? You can see that my hand is always going down and up. We're not, I'm not, fooling around with trying to mess up, doing some downs and some ups. That'll just get you into a whole bunch of trouble. So that is alternate picking technique. Here's just another way that you can practice that technique while you're like vegging on the couch and watching TV. Mute the left hand and with the strings with your left hand, and just try this 4 times on each string, like just tracking through the string. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd, 3rd, and then split to 2. And then split to alternating. Boy, that's actually pretty tricky. So that's a great and simple technique. And so what we're trying to do is track the strings with our right hand and do alternate picking technique.